good. That's also good. This is good. Oh shit, I gotta do TikTok properly. Hold on. Let me see if... I'm still unsure if TikTok is actually streaming. Let me take a look here. Ah! I think it is, but I don't know for sure. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't show me as streaming. It's agitating. Oh well. I'll have to come back to that another time. Alright, let's see here. So let's get Facebook comments. Uh-huh. Okay. Alright, looking good. Uh-huh. No. Stop it. Stop it. God, getting the tiniest little... There we go. Okay. It's Instagram. Get you right in here. Bring you here. Come here. There we go. All right. Okay, so biggest news of the day appears to be an apparent deal with Iran. I'll believe it when I see it, though. I mean, how many times have we seen this BS get peddled to us and then find out that it's all a crock of shit? So, here's what the molester-in-chief is saying in regards to it.
And if Israel can't do the job without killing everyone else, he'll do the job. Syria will do the job.
Are you frustrated with Netanyahu, sir?
No. We had a great relationship. We're talking about some end details. I didn't like that he did an attack based on there was a very minor little thing with some drones that were released, and he ends up doing I saw that attack. I saw where that bomb went. Did you see what happened? That was a vicious, that was too much. You can do too much also.
Jeez,
but we've had a very effective relationship. Without us, without the United States, there would be no Israel. Without me, there would be no Israel, because no other president was willing to do what I did. I've had a great relationship with Bibi, but now Bibi has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon.
Quid pro quo.
Lebanon
Trump
used to be a great country. It was a country where you had professors, doctors, lawyers. The great intellect was in Lebanon. Now it's terrible.
So listen to the shit that he's saying about Lebanon and Iran and Israel. I mean, again, anybody else and the right would be, if this was a Democrat saying this kind of shit, the right would be January 6ing the White House right now. But because it's Trump, anything goes, because he is their king pedo, and they can never go against him.
I would say of all countries, they've been treated the worst. And they can't defend themselves. And they have Hezbollah, which is a problem.
Dylan, you don't like my flag? Oh, you poor little snowflake.
No, I'm not happy with the way Israel has handled themselves.
What's up, innocent
Lebanon
clothes?
And with Hezbollah. They should have been able to do the job faster. It just goes on forever. And when that happens, it throws a negative light on the big deal, and that's the deal with Iran. So
it's pretty clear that Trump is recognizing how important the deal is with Iran because of how much it's damaging the economy and just, I mean, everywhere. The entire world is affected by the Strait of Hormuz closure. So he really wants a deal. He's even willing to go against Israel a bit publicly here, saying like, oh, this is too much, this, that, and the other. So it's pretty fucking clear he wants this off his plate. But the question is, will Bibi go along with it? And I don't think he will.
When you ask me about Bibi, an unbelievable relationship. But Israel would.
And we see this a lot when Trump is in hot water, behind the scenes, but he has to keep a public face, and it doesn't benefit him to turn against them. Then he'd be like, "It's great, everything's fine, everything's fine. Don't look at the burning down house, it's fine, it's going great, it's going great. It's a controlled forest fire of the living room." Like, that's how he handles this kind of stuff. So yeah, I'd be very skeptical. I think behind the scenes, Trump and Bibi are actually quite at odds.
It would have been blown up a long time ago had I not gotten involved. Two things I did. I terminated the Iran nuclear deal. Barack Hussein Obama sold out Israel for.
And yet, the Iran nuclear deal, Arthur Gonzalez, Terry Bolat, welcome. The Iran nuclear deal is far better than anything that Trump has gotten because it got it without any bloodshed, and it got it at far less price. I think they unfroze, $20 billion in Iranian assets, and now Trump is basically giving them a $300 billion blank check, all for absolutely nothing except for everyone else here in America that's had to pay higher prices. And Obama was able to get that without having to fire a single bullet. Paxi boy, what are you saying? I can't understand what you're saying.
Iran. He went to Iran. He sold them out. How anybody can vote for this guy or the party, the Democrats, I call them, because they're dumb. They're dumb people.
Director EJJ Jaculator. Even when you MAGA pedophiles try to insult me, it's just fucking funny.
That's number one. How anybody can vote for them. And the second was the B-2 bombers, just totally destroyed. So they had the right there, the JCPOA. I watch these politicians. I watched a Senator Reid that nobody ever heard of the other day. Well, this deal is the same as the deal Barack Obama.
What's up, Skelly? You changed your name? All right, cool. What'd you change your name for? So it's very clear. I mean, look at all the stuff that Trump is saying. If Israel can't do the job without killing everyone else, he'll do the job. Syria will do the job. Bibi has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. I'm not happy with the way Israel has handled themselves with Lebanon and Hezbollah. I've had a great relationship with Bibi. Now Bibi has to be more responsible with respect to Lebanon. I mean, this is all this is some of the most overtly belligerent, and even Biden was never this belligerent. Everything that came up with Bibi and Biden was always behind the scenes. Come on, I'm telling him. I'm sitting down with people like, Bibi, come on. Stop bombing these people. Let's get serious. What are we doing? Bomb, don't bomb Iran. No, don't do that. Don't bomb Iran. Where am I? That was Biden this whole time. And I don't recall, I don't even think Obama was this overtly contradictory towards Israel publicly that I can recall. Hello, everybody on Earth. God bless us all in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Curtis. I'm atheist, though, so you can keep your God blesses for the next time someone sneezes around you. So this is supposedly the copy of the document between the U.S. and Iran. What a holy hell of a wall of text. I mean, it's a massive deal, so of course it's going to be, this long. Let me see. So the IRGC and the U.S., together with their allies in the current war, declare upon the signing of this memorandum an immediate and permanent end to the war on all fronts, including Lebanon, and undertake from now on they will not launch any hostile action against each other and will refrain from the threat or use of force against each other. The final agreement will confirm the provisions of this article and the remaining articles. Here's the thing, though. This is just the U.S. and the IRGC. This does nothing to stop Israel from bombing Lebanon. So will this hold Israel to account? I don't think so. I think Israel is going, if anything, I think Israel is going to see this as, they're going to think that it's their 007 moment. They have a license to kill, They're just going to go in there and do whatever the fuck they want because Israel is a completely rogue agent, and the world has done absolutely fuck all to hold them accountable. So I don't foresee this lasting. The IRGC and the U.S. undertake to respect each other's sovereignty, territorial integrity, refrain from interfering in each other's internal affairs, RGC and the U.S. undertake to negotiate and reach a final agreement within a maximum period of 60 days, extendable by mutual consent. Immediately upon the signing of this MOU, the United States lift the naval blockade and prevent any interference or obstruction against the IRGC and restore traffic. So I wonder if they've already done this. I haven't. There is a Lupel Soto, welcome. There is a tracker that you can use to see the traffic in and out of the Strait of Hormuz. I haven't looked at it, so I'm curious to see if this has already gone into effect. I mean, based on the wording, if it's already been signed, that would have to go into effect right now, but I don't know if it's actually happening. Restore traffic within a maximum of 30 days to its full capacity. The traffic of ships. I mean, this is also contingent on Israel not fucking around in the Strait. You know, all these ships can be going in and out of the Strait from different countries, and Israel can absolutely sabotage them, bomb them, you know, do whatever, capture them, and then we're right back to square one. So again, the problem is fucking Israel. The traffic of ships shall be proportional to the pre-war volume of traffic on the part of the... This is actually really, really good wording here in the contract, because sure, you can open the Strait, sure, we can open more traffic, but hey, maybe traffic on the way to the Strait gets stopped. Maybe the ships never leave port. Maybe all our businesses boycott the Strait of Hormuz entirely. I mean, I'm not saying that would happen, but like, this is just to prevent... It's just to close loopholes, right? This is very good contract language. Traffic with the ship shall be proportional. The United States also undertakes to withdraw its forces from the surrounding areas within 30 days after the final agreement. Holy fuck, how many more? Okay. Upon signing this MOU, the IRGC will immediately take steps to ensure that the movement of merchant ships from the Persian Gulf to the Sea of Oman and vice versa is resumed within 30 days to the pre-war volume, taking into account the need for the removal of technical obstacles and the neutralization of mines by Iran. The United States undertakes, together with its regional partners, to create a comprehensive plan agreed upon by both parties for the rehabilitation and economic development of the IRGC, while ensuring financing of at least $300 billion. Keep in mind, Obama only gave them like, what, 20, 30 billion? And that wasn't even giving it to them. It was unfreezing assets that were already Iran's, right? They were just sitting in a bank that America could sanction or control enough that they could force them to not withhold those, to freeze those funds. And now Trump is giving them, what, 10 times that now? I mean, this is insane. This is a holy shit deal compared to what we have with the JCPOA. The implementation mechanism of this plan as part of the final agreement will be formulated within 60 days. Now, the fact that it says with its regional partners, you know, that technically includes Israel. And there is absolutely no way that Israel is going to give any money to Iran to help rebuild, you know, the country. So again, spoiler alert, the monkey in the wrench is Israel. The United States commits to ending on a schedule to be agreed upon as part of the final agreement all types of sanctions currently facing the IRGC, including resolutions of the UN Security Council, for governors of the International Atomic Agency, and all unilateral U.S. sanctions, both primary and secondary. Again, this is right out of the JCPOA. The IRGC reiterates that it will never produce nuclear weapons. Again, JCPOA. The IRGC and the U.S. have agreed that the fate of enriched material and the fate of all other mutually agreed nuclear-related issues, including Iran's nuclear needs, will be adequately addressed in a final agreement. The final agreement will confirm the provisions of this article. So this is more or less just punting the issue down the road. The IRGC and the United States agree that pending a final agreement, they will maintain the status quo. Iran will maintain the status quo on its nuclear program, and the United States will not impose new sanctions on Iran or strengthen its forces in the region. So after all that posturing, after all that talk, after all that fucking yapping from Trump and the MAGA pedophile party, they admit that they get to maintain the status quo on their nuclear programs. They can continue doing, they can continue enriching. Like, they're not going to produce nuclear weapons, but you can still enrich uranium. And that's exactly what this deal is allowing them to do, which is actually a step below what the JCPOA did. The JCPOA halted their uranium enrichment, and they allowed the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, to go in there and inspect them. So this is a complete surrender by the Trump pedophile regime to the IRGC. The United States undertakes that immediately after the signing of this MOU, and until the date of the lifting of sanctions, the United States Treasury Department will issue waivers for exports of Iranian crude oil, petrochemical products, and their derivatives, and all related services, including baking, insurance, transportation, and the like. The United States undertakes that in light of the progress of negotiations towards a final agreement, frozen or restricted funds and assets of the IRGC will be released and made fully available. These funds, whether held in the master account or transferred, will be used for any final beneficiary payment determined by the Central Bank of the IRGC and will be fully available for use. The United States undertakes to issue all necessary permits and licenses on this basis. So yeah, they're actually, so unless I'm misreading this, it sounds like they're actually giving them more than the 300 billion, unless this section here is part of the 300 billion. Frozen and restricted funds. So I think these are two separate things. Financing of at least 3. Yeah, these are separate things. So basically, Trump and the regional partners have to. Elaine, welcome. So Trump and the regional partners and the Gulf Coast and this, what is it, the Gulf Coast Coalition? What's it called? That's not right. But those countries there have to give 300 billion, not exactly a small amount of money, to Iran. I mean, I don't even know if the UAE, Saudi Arabia, I don't even know if any of those countries would want to do that. And then on top of that, the U.S. is unfreezing a bunch of assets which do not seem to be monetarily numbered. We don't know how much of these funds are frozen. The IRGC and the U.S. agree that an implementation mechanism will be established to oversee the successful implementation of and future commitment to the final agreement. Following the signing of this MOU and upon receipt of assurances regarding the commencement of implementation of Articles 4, 5, 10, and 11 of this MOU and the continued implementation of these steps, the IRGC and the U.S. will enter into negotiations for final agreement solely with respect to the remaining articles. The final agreement will be approved through a binding resolution of the UN Security Council. And upon receipt of assurances regarding the commencement of Articles 4, 5, 10, and 11. So 4 is the naval blockade. 5 is allowing the ships to go through. 10 is the lifting of sanctions. And 11 is the unfreezing of the assets. Yeah, Josh Blocks if this is even remotely accurate, it is the worst text of any ever conceived in diplomacy. I think what he means is that the terms are a complete surrender to the U.S. Iran has absolutely gotten just about everything they could have ever wanted from this deal. I think that's what he means. I don't know if he literally means the text is written horribly, because I've certainly seen much worse written deals personally, but whatever. This has to be fake. Issued deliberately to make the final deal look at least better by comparison, right? So my understanding, the reason why I retweeted this is because it seemed to be corroborated from other sources. So we'll see if this is indeed what's in the final text of the deal, which we haven't gotten and we'll supposedly get on Friday. But based on what I was seeing from other commentators whom I trust and, you know, who have a history of being reliable, this seems to be a solid interpretation of the text, or a solid recreation of the text. So yeah, it's a total fucking surrender. I mean, this is, Trump just went full fucking French and waved the white flag, and Iran got everything, and Trump got absolutely nothing except higher inflation. Gay butt sex is nasty, dirty, and dangerous. Okay, Jesus is coming, then why do you rape little children? If it's so dirty and nasty, then why do you continually do it to little children? That's the question. I wouldn't let into Gaza. So this is why it all comes down to what Israel is going to do. I wouldn't let into Gaza a single grain of food or a drop of water, not electricity, nothing at all. What's wrong with starving them? Yes, I want to starve them. I'm not ashamed to say. Following an IG story by released Israeli POW Emily Damari complaining about aid going into Gaza, Channel 13 host A.L. Berkovich expressed his full agreement with the genocidal sentiment, while his co-host Maria Asaraf talked about the deceptive narrative that Israel is starving people. Pantalonoir, welcome. So I do want to say this. This coming from a Israeli POW, look, it's kind of understandable. They'd been held in prison. They'd been tortured. They'd been held in hellish conditions. And yeah, sometimes when you come out of those kind of conditions, you're not in a good frame of mind. You're pretty pissed off. I'm not surprised they would say something like this. Doesn't make it right, but I understand the mindset that they were in. The problem is that this mindset is shared broadly by the Israeli public, by the people in power. even those who have not been POWs. That's why this is scary. Vote Blue Nightmare. Ralph Perry, welcome. Hope does not hate. Good saying. So so the problem is that this genocidal sentiment is shared broadly throughout Israeli media. Nanen Dasuka, welcome. So let's see what...
בוא תראה מה אמילי דמארי, ששבה מן השבי לפני שנה, העלתה היום לחשבון האינסטגרם שלה.
לא יאמן שאנחנו עדיין מאכילים אותם. מה יהיה איתנו? לא נלמד. לא נלמד.
צודקת ב1,000,000%. אסור להכניס לשם גרגר. גרגר מים, גרגר אוכל, או טיפת מים, לא הייתי מכניס לשם.
So this is what I'm talking about. This is broadly shared. You see this repeatedly on Israeli TV. You hear it repeatedly in the Knesset. You hear it, of course, from Smotrich, Ben-Gvir, Netanyahu, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Even the more left candidates of Netanyahu, his opponents in politics, are also expressing this exact same sentiment. So it's very fucking dangerous because it's actually, frankly, how Israel created this disaster in the first place with this genocidal, just absolutely brain dead take. Yeah, this is how you end up in a war and you cause inflation to go up and you start a genocide. It's just truly evil mindset. Eric Snapchat, welcome.
לא חשמל, לא כלום. בקשר לאוכל, מים, דלק, לא הייתי מכניס כלום.
So yeah, these are all war crimes what they're describing, and I don't know if this I wonder if she has an earpiece in here. I don't know. This looks like the vacant stare of someone who's kind of like, oh shit, how do I get out of this situation? I don't want to be a part of this. But apparently she agrees with him, so maybe I'm misreading the body language entirely, but that certainly doesn't seem like someone who's comfortable with the stuff that they're saying.
העולם צריך לדאוג להם, אנחנו לא צריכים לדאוג להם יותר. זהו. אחרי 7 באוקטובר, מדינת ישראל צריכה להתנתק מהם. כבשנו חצי מעזה, לשים שם גדר, לשים שם לוחמים, לקחת אחורה, ולא להעביר לשם גרגר. זה מה שהייתי מצפה מראש הממשלה, שיהיה חזק, שיסביר לטראמפ, התושבים במדינת ישראל לא רוצים יותר את עזה. זהו, עזה מבחינתנו זה שם, אנחנו פה, לא רוצים קשר איתם, שהעולם ידאג להם.
הדברים של אמילי הזכירו לי היום ברקו את הביקורת שנשמעה גם באולפנים, והנרטיב השקרי על זה שישראל מרעיבה.
Yeah, so she's towing the company line here. I wonder if she does have an earpiece in that far ear. That's why her hair is down on that side. And so she's being told, like, hey, push the talking points, push the narrative. We don't ever need to hurt innocent people. Semper Fi. You're right, Ralph Perry.
ובמהלך המלחמה עצמה, כשעוד היו לנו חטופים בשבי,
תגידי לי, מה עייפות נפש? מה הבעיה להריב? כן, אני רוצה להריב אותם. סבבה, אני לא מתבייש להגיד, אני רוצה להריב אותם, כן.
לא, יפה נפש בהחלט ישנם לצערי הרבה בתקשורת הישראלית, ומה שאמילי דמארי, שחזרה משם, שמה מראה, זה את אותה התייפיפות נפש, את אותו משחק כפול הזה, בזמן שהחטופים שלנו בשבי, מי שעסק פה בשאלה, כמה אוכל יש לילדים עזתים, בעיניי לא הבין מה תפקידנו.
I mean, everything that they're describing here is war crimes. This is truly, truly fucking evil. This is exactly what the Nazis did to the Jews in the 1930s and 1940s. They starved them, they put them in camps, and now the Israeli government is repeating the exact same shit that they did that the Germans did to their ancestors. This is truly fucking disgusting to describe not wanting to let children starve. Little babies, infants, breastfeeding mothers, they want them to starve. There is no coming back from this kind of genocidal intent. Even if this Iran deal goes through, you still have a rogue Israel that hates every single one of their neighbors. That's not a recipe for success. That's not a recipe for coexistence. It's not. So moving forward, even with the Iran deal, I don't see Israel cooperating. Maddie, welcome back. Ralph Perry, I'm glad you agree. I see eye to eye with you, Ralph. I like you, man. So then we have the Zionist creepist-in-chief, John Podhoretz, who's, if you can't tell, pretty fucking insane.
We stopped carpet bombing them to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Now we're removing, the blockade to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Next time we'll be giving up something else to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. This is the way negotiations with the Iranians work.
It's the way negotiations with us work. Yeah.
It's about us. It's not about them.
Guys,
What they want is completely clear. They want freedom of action. They want to be able to close or open the Strait of Hormuz at will. They want to continue their nuclear program, and they want to continue to build ballistic missiles. And we are.
And yet, in the deal, Iran is clearly saying that they're willing to give up their nuclear weapons program, not the enrichment, but the weapons program. God, does this guy ever have a freeze frame that's not looking like Chucky after he was thrown into the fire? Look at this nutter. Insane in the brain? Yeah, look at this fucking lunatic. Looks like the shadow of a fucking jack-o'-lantern. Holy shit.
Venting to every one of those from what
They want survival. They want a nuclear program, and they want to drag out negotiations through the election. They want to humiliate Donald Trump and move on to the next president.
And
they've already succeeded. I don't know what they need to keep going for. They can negotiate, not negotiate. Nobody on the planet Earth is going to see this unless you are literally a paid agent of MAGA related to Donald Trump or some lunatic who is really excited by the possibility of Trump turning on Israel. There is no person on earth who is going to say that America didn't lose this war. There is nobody.
Well, correct, because it didn't. I mean, what do you want, John? It didn't. It fucking lost. Hugely so. And it's the same thing. What's the saying? Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater? That's exactly what America did. It's fucking insane.
Nobody.
The U.S. has lost this round, but I want to.
This round, yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, Podorets is just a nutter.
I honestly don't know if it could be worse, because if this war ends the way I fear it's going to, America is going to be in a strategically, tactically, and militarily worse position than it was under Biden and before Trump came back into power. That is to say, he made a choice to test America's resolve, America's ability to win war, to exert its will, to change the nature of the map, and he has choked. He has chickened out. He has bled himself dry.
I mean, here's the thing. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to say this. John Podhoretz is correct on this specific point. Yes, Trump choked, Trump chickened out, blah, 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 taco this, taco that. However, the simple fact is that Iran militarily has been known to be an extremely difficult target. They have done so many war games on this exact scenario of going to war with Iran. And guess what? The Strait of Hormuz was shown to be closed to cause economic damage that is far not worth the cost of a military campaign against Iran. It's over and over and over. But of course, Trump surrounds himself with sycophants and chicken hawks like Pete Kegsbreath. And he doesn't listen to anyone with any actual knowledge, experience, training, or expertise. So what do you know? You get this exact scenario, which is a disaster of a war that has cost us more than we gained and has been a complete surrender on America's front to Iran. So, yeah, what a fucking surprise. So John Podhoretz is correct. However, nobody should have ever gone to war with Iran. There was no fucking need for it. If we had just kept the JCPOA in place, which Obama did, which was a masterful fucking degree in diplomacy, we wouldn't be here. Biden and Obama never started a war. Correct. However, let's not forget that that Obama did a lot of drone bombing, which was very bad. He keeps dumb people around him. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, my brain physically hurt. You know, my brain physically hurts. Like you can't feel your brain, right? But my brain physically hurts when I hear some of the people that Trump keeps around him talk. It's insane.
And better that we shouldn't have done it in the first place, because we have 20.
Here's the thing. He's right. Again, up until this point, John Podhoretz is going to lose this. Just hang in there. Just strap yourself in. The shit show is coming. I promise you.
75 years left. We have 75 years left of this century. We have 75 years left of this century. Trump, the crazy lunatic psychotic who doesn't care about lives and will do anything and do anything, could not bear the idea of putting a boot on the ground anywhere in Iran, and could not bear the idea of a single American possibly being taken hostage, which I understand. I'm not saying that either of those is a good thing, but if you're going to go to war, you have to put boots on the ground. If you're going to go to war, you have to understand that there are sacrifices that not only is the military, which is a volunteer military, everyone in the military has volunteered to put their lives on the line for their country, and that the country itself may have to sacrifice in the form of wildly higher oil prices. If you think that the American national interest has to be engaged in this process, and if you go,
I love how completely checked out this guy is. I don't know who this guy is, but he hasn't said a single fucking thing. He's just like, yeah, John's on a rant. Let him fucking go. Let him off the leash. Just let him fucking run wild. He's gonna get all the ratings. Let him do it. Fuck it.
Into the process and you lose it, and it's a complete war of choice, you have made things worse. The situation is worse. It's worse than it was on the 28th of February.
It would have been worse if we had invaded Iran. We still would have had the same awful economic consequences. We then would have been entrenched in another Iraq for the next 20 fucking years while we tried to defend this stupid war that we never should have been in the first place. This is such a bad, bad take from John Podhoretz. It sounds like he's advocating for boots on the ground. Oh, for what? If you go to war, it needs to be for a good fucking purpose, not because, Israel has the Epstein files on Trump and can blackmail him at any moment, or because Trump needs a distraction from the Epstein files, so therefore he has to start a war to distract from it. There is no benefit to going to war with Iran. It is very different from a war with, say, Germany in World War II, where we're fighting this truly evil regime that was trying to dominate the entire world that is different and views everyone else lesser than them. We had to go to war for that. What in the fuck were we to gain from a war with Iran? Absolutely fuck all. $300 billion to Iran, but why not to Israel too? Rando D, I don't understand your point. We should never be giving Israel money. Israel needs to be able to deal with its own shit and stop running to Daddy Donald, Big Brother America every time they pick a fight with someone. The battle's not over until the infantry walks through. Yeah, exactly. Like, even if we had sent in the infantry, it would have, like I said, it just would have been entrenched. So many people would have died. How many people did we lose from Iraq, wasn't it? Or not Iraq, excuse me. Iraq and Afghanistan. Wasn't it like 20,000 people? For what? These people would have died at the whims of a pedophile, Donald Trump. What was the fucking purpose of this war? We know that 13 died at least. 100% there's going to be more than that, which is why Trump is not allowing people to see the dignified transfer of service. Oh, for what? All because he needed a headline that wasn't Trump is in the Epstein files. Netanyahu. Oh my God, that's good. I can't believe I never thought of that one. That's good.
And to get to the point that Seth was going to, which is why I'm so crazy passionate about this, when we were talking about this in January.
Unlike you usually are, you're just crazy passionate about this.
No, I'm out of my mind here. I haven't felt like this in a long time, actually. We said in early January, the problem with the American response to the Iranian uprising is that there is a history of America with populations under totalitarian rule rising up, and then those populations getting the idea that we were going to be the cavalry and ride in and help them and save them and help them win from Hungary to Prague and onward.
This is the we would be greeted as liberators, brainwashing, stupid talking point. Didn't work in Afghanistan, didn't work in Iraq. It would have never worked in Iran. This is so fucking stupid from John Podhoretz. Not to mention lifetime injuries. Yeah, I mean, so many of these people come back from war and they're fucking crippled for life. Not even if they have physical injuries. Not even if they've taken an IED or a bullet or whatever. So many of these people come back and they are truly fucked up in the head. Absolutely insane levels of PTSD and a host, they used to call it shell shock. It's just insane. And then so many of these veterans come back from overseas from serving our country, wanting to protect America, and then we dump them on the fucking streets where they wander from alley to alley, talking to themselves. And then what do we do here in LA? We just sweep them off the street and put them in jail. It's fucking insane what we do to veterans in this country. Important to thank the... Oh, William Talented, you're a pedophile. Got it. William Talented says it's important to thank the Olympics Committee for banning biological men from women's events. William Talented, you are absolutely a pedophile. The only person that should be banned from anything involving women and children is you. I got something special for you. If you stay in the chat, I've got a whole bunch of new pedophiles that have been arrested from your fucking party. So anyone that comes in here talking about banning biological men from women's sports, guaranteed they are a kid diddler. 100%. That flag behind you represents criminals. No, this is not the Trump flag. Sorry. Sorry, Mike Lee. You came to the wrong chat, buddy. Mike Lee is also a pedophile because he wants me to have the Trump flag, which is the flag of actual pedophiles. By the way, Michael, do you know how many fucking Trump January 6 terrorists have been rearrested for rape and pedophilia? It's a lot, buddy. It's a lot.
And that under those conditions, there were tragic consequences to those uprisings where they were crushed and tens of thousands of people killed and hundreds of thousands of people jailed and all of that because they got the wrong idea from us. And at least Dwight Eisenhower in 1956 didn't say to the Hungarian people, help is on the way. DJT, we're coming to save you.
Is he really this dumb to have believed that Trump was actually about the people in Iran that were oppressed? Everything that Iran was doing to their people, Trump is doing to our people. It's such a stupid fucking talking point. So, of course, John Podderis takes it and runs with it.
He said it. I didn't say it. You didn't say it. This is why I keep saying he chose this path. We were not forced into this path. It wasn't even anything like...
Ralph, yeah. Any of these MAGA pedophiles that come in the chat looking for, thinking that they're going to pull a fast one by trying to trash this flag while their leader is in the Epstein files a million fucking times, yeah, they're not going to have a good time in this chat. Not at all.
Kuwait wasn't even the war. We had to go to war in 1990 against Iraq, because Iraq had swallowed a neighboring country. And just as Seth says we can't allow, a waterway to be closed and have a world that functions properly, if we sat there while one country swallowed up another and announced that it was its province...
Then we should have invaded Russia, by that logic. We should have invaded Russia, because that's what they did to Ukraine. Right? With the Crimean Peninsula and all that. We should have invaded Russia by his fucking logic. This guy is so fucking dumb, and he has the absolute worst goddamn takes. This is the problem with the centrist establishment, right? They come in and they have these absolutely brain-dead, stupid fucking takes that take our country back and put us more and more in jeopardy, and they're treated as credible. This guy is a fucking idiot.
And didn't do something, the world would collapse into chaos because countries would be trying to do this all over the place. And 52 countries said, no, you cannot do that. That wasn't a war of choice. This Trump decided to do. I was happy he chose it. But I'm under no...
And yet Israel has invaded and attacked Lebanon, Gaza, Iran. So by his logic, we should go to war with Israel. Oh, but we can't do that because he's an Israel Zionist supporter. Right, got you. Why are you gay? Chaos Whisperer, question for you. Why are you pedophile? Why you rape children? Chaos Whisperer, why? Why you kid diddle? Why you not find woman? Happy wife, happy life. Why you stalk elementary school, Chaos Whisperer? Why? Why you do? If you lead, you have to have character and empathy for all. Chaos, why aren't you? Hey, Rando, you could say that being gay would actually make him happy. Because right now, imagine these fucking losers' mentality coming into a random-ass chat, and now he's saying Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve. You literally had a lobotomy just yesterday, didn't you? It's fucking insane. These fucking pedophile MAGA people come in my chat at, 4:40 in the evening. They have absolutely nothing going on in their life. Chaos Whisperer, we outed you. Chaos Whisperer, MAGA pedophile, do you see him? Do you see him? Screenshot him. Screenshot him. Chaos Whisperer, you're screenshotted. You're a pedophile. Yeah, the sicko's coming in. You're right, Ralph.
Under no possible illusions that this was something that needed to be done. So if 'twere done, 'twere better, 'twere done quickly and had to be won. You couldn't lose. You couldn't do this and lose. And he is losing. And you may not think that the deal is going to go through, and you may want to see the memorandum of understanding. But then I see J.D. Vance on CBS this morning saying the following, asked by CBS, the Iranians are saying they're going to have access to a $300 billion reconstruction fund. Is that true or false? And this is not quote, but whatever the term is for, it's a summary of what Vance said.
Oh
He
my
said,
God, this guy.
that's the sort of thing you could have access to so long as they honor their end of the obligation. So Vance is actually acknowledging that at the end of this deal, if the Iranians honor their obligation, there's going to be a $300 billion reconstruction fund, half of which is going to go to Witkoff and Barrack and their children and the Trump family and whoever else has sucked up to him and kissed his ass and been his corrupt, second and third and fourth in charge. That's the world that we're living in now. It's worse. It's worse. It's worse.
Was J.D. Vance a Marine? I mean, I know he was a JAG, but I don't think he was an actual soldier, was he? I thought he went in from, like, officer school and never actually served on the fronts. Like how divorce is in Bible and Bitcoin is in too. Yeah, Bitcoin is in the Bible. Yeah, that's right. Don't you remember Jesus was trading that shit under the table at the Last Supper? That's why they got Jesus, man. They got him not because of his preachings. They got him because he was selling Bitcoin. He had to go. We can't have Bitcoin in the Roman Empire. It's all, the currency is gold and that is it.
Fundamentally destroyed their program, but that does set them back a little bit further, and that's important, of course, to the United States of America.
And they're agreeing never to enrich.
They're agreeing right now to eliminate the enriched stockpile, and if they don't get...
Was that in the... Hang on, let me go back. Assuming this is accurate. Oops, wait a minute. IRGC readers will never produce the IRGC have agreed the fate of enriched material and the fate of all of mutually agreed adequately. So I don't think, yeah, so he's kind of bullshitting here because I don't think they actually came to terms with what they're going to do with the stockpile
get to a point where they agree to stop enriching, then they don't get the other benefits of the bargain. And that's the way this is set up, is a lot of the technical details we're going to figure out over the next month, over the next 2 months. But the basic structure is
Zack Attack,
they
welcome.
can get a lot if they comply with the United States demands. They don't get anything if they don't comply with anything.
So again, this is just the JC, like, what you would want, if you wanted to rip up the JCPOA 1.0, right, which is what Obama got, you would want a better deal, the JCP 2.0. Instead, we got the JCPOA 0.1. We got the early alpha non-beta release. That's what we got. This is such a bad fucking deal. They're agreeing to never enrich, agreeing right now to eliminate the enriched stockpile. That is not based on the terms of the deal. It says they're going to come back to it. We'll figure out over the next month. Right, so this is just pure copium from Vance. JD scrambling again. Yeah, it's totally scrambling. This is just insane to see the crap that they're coming up with. Do a backflip on live. If you break your shit, I'll give you $1,000. Nahash, you can't afford that. You 100% can't afford that. If you could afford to give some random streamer $1,000, you wouldn't be on this channel. You would be out fucking at a strip club making it rain. But you're a broke-ass bitch who's triggered by this flag because Trump is a pedophile, so now you have to try and cope with it. So go ahead. Cope in my chat, Nahash. Cope and seethe. So... Intel, this is also an important thing. Why don't you try, man? Come on. Because you don't have money. You're a broke-ass bitch. This is important to understand when it comes to Iran's military capacity. U.S. intel agencies have recently assessed that Iran can effectively turn the Strait of Hormuz on and off at will going forward, meaning it has acquired a powerful new ability to hurt the global economy as a result of Trump-Israel starting the war, sources tell me. They've basically become the Trade Federation. Like, this is the Trade Federation in the Phantom Menace. They're just putting up their blockade. Nothing is getting to Naboo. That's what we have turned Iran into. And they realize that. And they can absolutely now use it at their will. And they recognize that. We have now handed Iran de facto control over the strait, a weapon more powerful than any nuke, one of the sources said. Recent U.S. intel assessment underscore the lasting impact of Trump's decision to initiate the conflict without fully accounting for Iran's willingness to close the Strait of Hormuz and raised fresh questions about Tehran's ability to weaponize global economy in the future. A senior U.S. official told CNN that Iran cannot access any benefits of framework agreement unless the strait remains open and abides by other points it agreed to. Senior official did not detail what those benefits are, but said U.S. will wind down its blockade in proportion with Iran restoring traffic in the strait. If Iran performs, the relief follows and American leverage holds the entire way, the senior official added. So, to my understanding, in past war games, it was definitely known that Iran had the capacity to control the Strait of Hormuz. It was a little unclear if they could maintain that control, and also if that control of shutting the global economy would hurt Iran more than it would hurt their opponents, right? But it seems like with this whole conflict, Iran has been like, oh shit, I can actually do this. It's kind of like if you go into MMA classes for a year or two and you get into a bar fight and then someone throws a punch at you and you're like, oh shit, I can actually block. Oh shit, I can punch. Oh man, I can take him down. Now that's what's kind of happened with Iran. They seem to be aware of the power that they have, and they are willing to exercise it. Hey, don't call me a Trump supporter, you troglodyte! Wow, you had to really reach into the thesaurus for that one. Focus on the message you're trying to find an underlining meaning. I have no idea what the fuck you're trying to say. Could be a trap. Of course it is. You ain't got the balls, you got lady balls. Whoa, 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 Rando. No need for the transphobia. Yeah, I ran all that, but you still haven't done that backflip, man. Hey, Nahash, how about this? You do a backflip, post it, and tag me, and then I'll do a backflip. Go ahead, buddy. So, the other thing to keep in mind is that Israel not only is controlling our military by dictating to Trump what it can and cannot do and what it will do, otherwise they'll release more of the Epstein files, they interfere in our elections. This is a foreign country interfering in our elections. All the liberals were so upset when Russia was doing it, and yet they don't give a fuck when Israel is doing it openly, proudly, bragging that they can literally buy seats as they did with Cori Bush and was it Jamal Bowman, I think it was? So this guy is fighting back, and I love to fucking see this.
Just dropped off an official complaint with Arizona Attorney General Chris May's office about the state of Israel's election interference in our primary election. They are funding a campaign of AI political persuasion texts that are hitting voters in our district, where I'm taking on Greg Stanton, whose top contributor is AIPAC, and a big fight in this election is about
Arizona.
The policy of complicity in the genocide in Gaza, which I oppose, and want to cut off military aid to Israel to end it. Brad Parscale, Donald Trump's former campaign manager, is the one who is sending these texts. His firm, funded by the state of Israel. What is going on? A foreign government...
So take a moment to think about that. Brad Parscale, Trump's former campaign manager, these guys love to talk about America first, America this. Oh, brave, bold America, yay. Stand for the flag, salute the troops. They love to talk about this while they're literally getting paid by a foreign government. I mean, they allied with a foreign enemy, Russia. Why would they not also ally with a foreign friend government, Israel?
Interfering in our elections. We're asking the Attorney General to do an investigation and to make sure this is not going to influence our election here. We've provided documentation of these texts, investigative reporting on the funding streams, and the published disclosure that the state of Israel is funding this AI political persuasion text intervention into our election here in Arizona. I just wanted to drop off a physical copy of a complaint that we're filing with the Attorney General's office.
So if you write on there Chris Mays, attention Chris Mays, you'll go directly to the executive office.
Okay. Thank you so much for your help, Lisa. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You too. Attorney General Mays is very familiar with election interference. She's been one of the leaders in the fight against Donald Trump's lies about our elections here in Maricopa County. Well, now Donald Trump's crew is at it again, except this time they're working with the state of Israel. Our campaign is determined in the fight against corruption and big money in politics. I don't take any corporate PAC money. I'll never take a dime from AIPAC, and I'm calling on Greg Stanton to denounce this election interference by the state of Israel and call on them to stop meddling in our primary elections. If you agree with me, join us in this fight. Go to kaiforaz.com, pitch in whatever you can.
I want to see more of this. There needs to be more of this. Democrats cannot be sitting on the sidelines while literal traitors are running for office and taking money from foreign fucking governments. It's literal treason. I'm not even kidding. A foreign government is interfering in our elections. Yeah, fight the fuck back. I don't know if anything will come of the investigation. I certainly hope so. It just depends on if this AG is bought by AIPAC or not. But this is a serious threat. And again, you can't be upset over the Russiagate if you're not also upset about Israel interfering in our elections. Holy shit, Nahash, you had a meltdown, dude. Hating on my swag, is it? How can we hate on something you don't even have? What are you talking about, you weirdo? The Black Sun, that's a flag without the L? I don't even know what you mean, Black Sun. You're so fucking weird. What are your thoughts on fixing Israel's hold on the U.S.? Well, first of all, ban fucking AIPAC from donating political money. It's a foreign government trying to interfere in our elections and charge anyone with any applicable election finance laws for taking the money. That's a good start. So this is why every single person that supports Trump and comes into my chat, I immediately assume they're a pedophile. Like that guy that was pissed about my flag, or the guy talking about banning men from women's sports. This is why I think they're all pedophiles. Christian conservative Joseph Dugar has been arrested for molesting a 9-year-old girl. That's not all. Trump campaign chairman Tim Nolan has been convicted of trafficking 19 girls, 7 of them underage. That's not all. Republican candidate Dean Wallowing Bull has been sentenced to 18 years for sexual abuse of a little boy. But wait, there's more. Republican Mayor Misty Roberts raped her son's 16-year-old friend at a party. Even the women are pedophiles. This is supposed to be pretty fucking rare, and yet Republican women are also pedophiles. Look at this shit. But wait, there's more. Republican candidate Ryan Dwayne Jenks has been sentenced to 20 years for molesting a 12-year-old girl. But wait, there's more. A Bible-thumping Arizona elementary school teacher who shared Save the Children posts on Facebook has been arrested for allegedly being a child predator himself. Chester Cox, 31, of Cottonwood, was arrested on 3 counts of sexual conduct with a minor and 2 counts of child molestation. The investigation began after the mother of an 18-year-old man reported her son had been abused by Cox when he was, of course his last name is Cox. He was approximately 11 or 12 years old. Cox had been teaching at Dr. Daniel Bright Elementary School for roughly 7 years and also served as a community youth coach. Authorities say the abuse occurred at a private residence, not school grounds, and the victim was not his student. While Cox was allegedly preying on an innocent child, he was sharing PragerU videos, MAGA content, and Bible verses on Facebook. When MAGA posts portray themselves as defenders of children, they always seem to be masking their own predatory behavior. This is exactly correct. This is one of the best channels you can be following when it comes to monitoring MAGA pedophiles, like this guy that just came in here, Steve T5S1R. You're a pedophile, dude. Plunkoff libtard. You say that and nothing about this. You call me a libtard and say nothing about this. You say nothing about this because you're all pedophiles. You are an actual cabal of pedophiles. You are everything that Alex Jones was talking about. You are everything that Trump campaigned on, except those two are also pedophiles. Alex Jones had child sex abuse material on his computer, and Donald Trump, of course, is the king pedo in charge. Mentioned in the Epstein files a million fucking times. Hey, Steve, where's your outrage over this? Are you more triggered by my flag or your party raping children? Which is it, Steve? Tell me. I want to see your comment. Which is it? Seth Beecher, MAGA pastor of Ellington Apostolic Tabernacle in Reynolds County, Missouri, was arrested on June 9th and charged with 3 counts of first-degree child molestation. A juvenile reported that the abuse had been ongoing since 2018. That's 8 years of trauma. This is the same man who spent years railing against LGBTQ people on Facebook, sharing anti-pride scripture, reposting Fox fake news, and praising Trump, and sharing a racist meme with a Confederate flag backdrop depicting Barack Obama being shot. He called himself a preacher of clean hands and a pure heart. Meanwhile, he allegedly spent 8 years abusing an innocent child. It's always the ones you most expect. Exactly, Steve. Like you. You're a pedophile. You're not going to say anything about this? Matt in UK, welcome. Pride is sin. Pride is something the Lord hates. Pride is opposed by the Lord. Pride is an abomination. Jesus, this is already stupid. Thank you, Trump. So here we go yet again. Pedophiles in the Republican crime party. In 28, and let's not forget that Trump, as mentioned, is in the Epstein files a million times. In 2011, Jeffrey Epstein emailed Ghislaine Maxwell that Trump spent hours at his house with one of the victims for hours. Epstein's houses were all bugged with secret video cameras. Given Epstein's known connections to intelligence, Mossad and Netanyahu have blackmail on Trump. Has a single journalist or reporter talked about this on mainstream media or asked Trump a question about it? It's a disgrace that this fact has been ignored and buried. Ask yourself why it is Trump has never said no to Israel about anything. Yes, the money is taken from the Israel lobby provides an incentive, but blackmail does as well. Dropsite News has reported that Netanyahu blackmailed Bill Clinton when he was president. They have a track record of this exact kind of thing. And keep in mind that Bill Gates testified under oath that Jeffrey Epstein was trying to blackmail him. I think he was trying to get him to give him money or invest in something, if I remember right. So yeah, this is Trump is compromised. That's 100% true. So this was from Jeffrey Epstein on April 12, 2011. To Ghislaine Maxwell, I want you to realize that that dog hasn't barked. I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. I have been thinking about that. ... Why does Trump continuously get a pass from the press on this? Again, if this had been anybody else, if this had been Obama, if this had been Trump, Biden, if this had been Kamala, if this had been Hillary, headlines wall to wall every single day that the Democrats nominated a pedophile as their lead standard bearer. And yet, that's exactly what the Republicans did with Trump. You know nobody believes you, right? So May, you're also a pedophile. May123J, you are a pedophile because you see this. You see legitimate emails in which Jeffrey Epstein is saying that Trump spent hours molesting a child at Epstein's own home, and it was all recorded because Epstein had everything bugged. And you come in here crying about me, saying no one believes me. You are hated by so much of this world. I don't think you understand. And it's not gonna sink in until every single one of you are Nuremberged. And we need to march you into those fucking cells, and you need to be tried. Every single one of you that supported this shit. I haven't seen the videos of you. Yeah, because you're a pedophile that's in here crying about me and ignoring that Trump is in the Epstein files a million fucking times. It's always deflection, always projection. You guys can never actually deal with the fact that Trump is a pedophile just like you. But hey, that's why you like him, because you guys got that in common. Also, pedophile, January 6th rioter, Kene? Brian Lazo was charged with the rape and aggravated sexual battery of a 13-year-old. Trump pardoned him anyway. May, does this upset you? Does this upset you, May, that a January 6th pedophile raped a child? Does this upset you, May? Another mega pedophile caught. He's a creepy one. Meth head as well. LOL. Indiana Trump cultist arrested on child sex abuse materials and meth charges. Delay, projection, and deflection. Exactly, Ralph Perry. DARVO. That's the term you're looking for. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. It's exactly what pedophiles and rapists like Trump do to keep the heat off of them. And it's exactly what May is doing, right? May comes in here and immediately says, nobody believes you, making it about me. See, now here it goes. Let's be real. If the homosexuals were hetero, they would be the grapists. If the homosexuals were hetero, they would just be hetero pedophiles like you. What are you talking about? You fucking idiot. If the homosexuals were... If my grandmother had wheels, she would have been a bike. You know? You're fucking stupid. Do you have any comment on this, May? Are you going to talk about the pedophiles in your party, yes or no? May, is this bad? Is a January 6th pedophile raping a 13-year-old child bad, May? Answer the question. I'm blown away by this excellent piece on @CNN reporting. This journalist, Katie Polglaze, demonstrates how to conduct interviews with Epstein associates. She had this guy sweating because she did her homework. Bravo. Worth getting through the ad to watch. Okay, so let's see.
Venture into the great indoors with Velux skylights and let natural light and fresh air transform every room. Because home isn't just how a space looks.
So, May, you're not going to comment on an actual arrest of a pedophile like you? You're not going to comment on that?
I don't know his private life.
Well, you did, because he was a convicted child sex offender.
But again, he paid for it. He said, I paid for it.
So that's it?
For me, he came. I mean, how can you let a criminal like this person out from the prison, from United States?
Paris. For years, young models were recruited here for Jeffrey Epstein. Digging through the Epstein files, CNN found Epstein received dozens of photos of young models, sent by model scouts and agents.
May doesn't want to talk about the facts. Who's known for perversion? Who's known for sexual debauchery? Pedophiles like you. Pedophiles like Jeffrey Epstein. Pedophiles like Donald Trump. Pedophiles like the January 6th rioter. That's who, May. You know, this is actually kind of, I'm actually sick of this shit. You pedophiles come in here and you just want to talk a bunch of shit and you never actually answer the questions. So you know what? I think I'm just going to ban you. This is dumb. Where are you? Let me see here. Here we go. Which chat are you in? Here you are. Oh, are you on TikTok? Here you are. Yeah. All right, you're banned. Bye-bye. Actually, put user in timeout. There. Put you in timeout, buddy. I'm crashing out. You won't even talk about the pedophiles in your party. Like, you want to come into a political chat. You want to harass me over a bunch of bullshit that you're projecting because you're a pedophile. And you can't even condemn this. You can't condemn this. If someone asks you, hey, is this bad? The answer is yes. You're a pedophile. The fact that you cannot say that this is bad means that you are a pedophile. Pretty fucking simple. Any normal human being, if you were to approach someone on the street, just do like a Billy Eichner on the street style thing, you printed this off and said, hey, can you tell me, is this bad? And they would say yes. Anyone who says no, you're checking their hard drive. Like, seriously. And the fact that you dodge every single time says that you're a pedophile. So yeah, you're in timeout. Yap away when you come back. But hey, if you come back and you don't answer these questions, you're getting banned. This is so dumb. I don't have time for this bullshit. All right, where was I?